One of the aims of the Early Church Texts website is to facilitate the study of writings from the patristic period in the original Greek and Latin. A challenge is knowing where to start, as the number of works is huge. Early Church Texts has over 250 on-site texts. They cover a broad range of important writers and themes. The texts have a brief introduction, dictionary lookup links, and notes on the original language, text, and translation. They include several important creeds and canons of the ecumenical councils, Nicaea, Constantinople, Ephesus, and Chalcedon. So how do you find and use these texts? Once logged into the subscription section of the site, you go to the Texts or Themes menu at the top of the page. The mouse pointer is highlighted here just for the purpose of this video. So we'll hover over the Texts menu for a moment, and you can see the different writers. You can click on the links to any of the texts from under these menus, and we'll also hover on the Themes menu, and you can see the variety of themes here. Hopefully quite a wide range, helpful for users to identify texts that they might be particularly interested in. If we move down the page a little bit, you'll find individual menus relevant to the particular text. Here we have links to other on-site texts by Eusebius. Here there are links to background information on Eusebius. Here there are more on-site texts linked to the theme of the New Testament canon. And under this menu there's a link to a website which has further information about the New Testament canon. Here is the name of the work from which the text is taken and the book and chapter number. There is the Clavis Patrum number. There is the resource from which the text is taken, Mean Patrologia Graeca here, and also the translation source, NPNF. There is a brief introduction to the text, as for every on-site text on the site. And a little further down, you'll find a link to a scanned version of the complete text and translation. This is on external websites like archive.org or Google Books, but hopefully it is useful for users of the site to be able to read the full work, if they desire, in a scanned version. There is also a downloadable Word file for the particular text on the page. Now let's scroll down a little and look at the Greek text and translation themselves. One useful feature, I hope, is that if you click on a Greek or Latin word, it will bring up a triple option menu for exploring the morphology and meaning of the word. So if you click on apostolon, then you could also click on logaion, and it will open up the logaion page for apostolon. Click again, and we could open up the Perseus page. And if we try the third option, it opens up a resource on an early church texts server. So there are a number of different ways of exploring the morphology and meaning of individual Greek and Latin words. If you look carefully at the text, you'll see that there are some green numbers in the Greek text. If you hover the mouse over those, you'll get background information. So often this can be quite useful. If you go to the translation, then there are red numbers embedded in the text. and if in some instances you click on the red number, or in some instances hover over the red number, you will find that further information, notes on the text, the translation, appears. One other important feature of every on-site text is that there is a specially prepared printable version. So scroll to the top of the page and click on the printable version of text, and then on click here to print in order to print it out. The notes on the Greek text and the translation are also included, as you can see. One last thing for this video, the texts are also indexed by century on the top menu system. So if you go to first century and text, you can see the text from the first century listed there, second century texts, the text from the second century, and so on with the other centuries. This video has been prepared on a Windows 11 PC. The site should work equally well on a Mac or touchscreen tablet. That's it for this video about on-site texts. There are plenty of other features to be explored on the site.